It's now been 24 hours since Manchester United's Europa League final defeat to Tottenham, and the news today has been chaos. Nobody is safe. There's a lot of question marks around certain players, and one of the players with the most question marks around is Bruno Fernandes. Why would he stay? No European football, 16th, he's got a big offer from Saudi on the table, but Bruno loves Manchester United. But Manchester United needing money, Saudi willing to spend over £100 million to get Bruno Fernandes in, according to some sources, and Bruno maybe a little bit fed up. Bruno's agent making hints that Bruno deserves better. There's indications Bruno could go to Saudi, and now reports are coming out from Saudi sources that Bruno has given indications that he's open to the move and the green light. Has the defeat yesterday changed Bruno's mind? What has Romano said on this? Antony to leave permanently, Manchester United looking for £32.5 million. Antony exit, that is the price tag on him, and Real Betis are ready to do a permanent deal. Højlund and Casemiro up for sale. United want nearly everybody out. More leaks, more anti-manager leaks. Here we go again, the same leaks we get every time we lose. And yeah, it looks like Garnacho's done at Manchester United. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news, transfer news and update roundup, where I round up all the latest Manchester United news in 10 minutes for you guys. And all I'm going to say is I'm still in a really bad mood about yesterday. I keep seeing trophy pictures of Tottenham celebrating, and I think it's that thought of I wanted to see Euro trophy pictures. I wanted to see Bruno trophy pictures, Ahmad trophy pictures, and what it would mean, and how we could at least have a good summer. But I feel like we just can't even have a good summer because we just got this over our heads, the dread. Yeah, I'm still gutted. But anyway, if you do enjoy today's video, feel free to hit that like button. Of course, subscribe if you're new. But let's get into it. So this is translated from Al Halal sources, and apparently it's a good Saudi source. I don't know if Saudi sources are good or not, so do not, take my word on that. But apparently it's a better Saudi source. So anyway, this is what the translation was. Urgent. Negotiations are ongoing with Osimhen, Bruno and Inzaghi. No final agreement has been reached, but everyone is very open to joining Al Hilal. So there's now sources coming out today from, Al Hilal related sources saying that Bruno is very open to Al Hilal. Bruno very open. The big question is, Al Hilal wanted Bruno, but we know that Bruno loves Man United. And I always said if we get Champions League football, Bruno is not leaving for Saudi. But if we don't get Champions League football, I think Bruno could say yes to Saudi. He's got the offer there. He's potentially said to Saudi, look, yes, I'm open to the move. Bruno has potentially said to Saudi, if this is true, yes, I'm open to the move. And if Bruno is open to the Saudi move, Saudi are willing to give Man United a good price, it will happen. It will happen because Man United are absolutely desperate for cash now. I think 100 million plus for Bruno and United might take it. I think. Romano said this morning. This is before the Saudi story came out. Amorim wants Bruno to stay. Of course he does. Bruno has a big offer from Saudi. Let's see what the club decides after the quote from him saying if the club opens the door for his exit, he will leave. Bruno basically said if the club allow him to leave, he'll leave. Bruno loves Man United so much that if the club is there begging him to stay next season, we need you next season, we need you next season, please, he'll stay. But if the club has said to Bruno, look, we need the money, you can move on, you deserve better, he will leave. He is only staying at Manchester United out of loyalty for this club because he does not want to see this club get any worse. Let's be honest. But even he's probably open to the Saudi move. I think he said yes to Saudi. I think he's open to the Saudi move now, and I think he'd only go if Man United let him go. It was also confirmed by Sky. I mean, they're probably just adding to the story that, Saudi club Al Hilal interested in Bruno. That's not really news, Slow Sports news. But this is why I think Bruno could go. The cost of Manchester United missing out on UCL qualification and poor performances in the Premier League is around 150 million. You've got to think of the 10 million clause we've got to pay Adidas for 2 years out of Champions League football. You've got to think of the 85 million in revenue lost. You've got to think in our sponsorship revenue going down. The lower you finish in the Premier League, the less money you get. We are basically between 100 to 150 million pounds poorer. And that's why they might sell Bruno. You might be thinking, what do you mean? But even Bruno hinted at this. I've always said I will be here until the club says it's my time to go. If the club thinks it's time to part ways because they want to cash in, or whatever, it's what it is, and football can be like that sometimes. Maybe United will cash in. Maybe Bruno is the price we pay for losing that game. I think he's open. Saudi sources are saying he's open. This could be the end of Bruno at United. And that worries me. Now, talking of a player that we need to sell to get a bit of money in, Antony. Real Betis want to sign Antony permanently after his successful loan move. That's good, because they've been playing around that they can only do a loan deal. They want to sign him permanently. Is it a PR spin that United put out because we've lost? Maybe. Lots of positive news about Cherki, Cunha. This player's going to go, that player's going to go. I don't care about the news. I want to see it. Go and get a Cunha, here we go. Go and push for Victor Gyökeres. Go and push for Cherki. Go and do something for Mbeumo. Go and do it. Go and do it. Go and do it. Manchester United have made Antony available for around 32.5 million this summer. United need a 32.25 fee to avoid a loss on the PSR. I think that's wrong. I think it's 27 million we need, not 32. But I know that Manchester United want 32 million pounds to sell Antony this summer. I know that's what we want. So, will we get 32.5 million sale for Antony? Let's hope so, because getting money for Antony, getting money for Rashford, getting money for Sancho is so key in terms of the sales that we need to move along. It was also said by James Ducker that the futures of Højlund and Casemiro are in doubt. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, Casemiro, I think, is open to staying. He sort of likes the club. He wanted to run down his contract. He's been playing better lately. Like, Ruben Amorim made Ugarte. Ugarte came in the summer for 50 million. He didn't get a minute on the bench. Casemiro got 90 minute on the pitch. Casemiro got 90. So I think Casemiro could stay. It's just his wages where United want him gone, especially with your PSR changing rules. Højlund's future's in doubt. I mean, apparently lots of clubs are interested in Højlund, but Man United haven't made a decision. How can Man United watch this season and just not make a decision on Højlund? He needs to go. Loan, option to buy, do it. So let's continue on into more news stories. Let me share this. Manchester United intend to go big this summer. A proper clear out planned, with lots of players up for sale, and also want to make multiple top signings. The loss yesterday has not hampered their intentions and plans, says United NAD. So United NAD is saying, you know what? Even though we lost, we're going to go big this summer. They have to go big this summer. If they don't go big this summer, we risk relegation, and then we're even a bigger financial mess. They have to go big this summer. A proper clear-outs planned. A lot of players are up for sale. The one thing about losing is, more players will be out the door. If we won, everyone's wages got 25%, and it's harder to get those players out because of those wages. That's the only good thing about losing, is we'll get more players out the door now we've lost. We don't need a bigger squad when we're not in Europe. We'll get more players out the door. There'll be more money there. There will be less money, but there'll be more from sales maybe to spend. The loss yesterday apparently hasn't hampered plans. I think it has. I don't think we're going to get any chance of getting Gyökeres. I think if you're a player and you watched Man United yesterday, that performance was uninspiring. I think it might have. I do. And do you know what's annoying me today is more dressing room leaks. So Chris Wheeler came out with a report that said this. A number of Manchester United players feel that Ruben Amorim is too overconfident in his approach. They could not understand why he put so much faith in playing a system that is not suited to the squad he inherited. Yep, I'll read that again. A number of Manchester United players feel that Ruben Amorim is too overconfident in his approach. They cannot understand why he put so much faith in a playing system that is not suited to the squad he inherited. So, first of all, Ten Hag gets stick for adapting, and now Ruben Amorim gets stick for not adapting. You can never win. Look, Ruben Amorim should have adapted more. In a one-off final, you adapt more. You get the best out of these players. Arne Slot's come and adapted and got the best out of his players. Ruben Amorim is insistent on playing a system that doesn't get the best out of most of the players in the squad. But at the end of the day, these are the same old dressing room leaks we get after every loss. We don't even know if they're true or not. But if these Man United players are complaining that Ruben Amorim isn't getting the best out of them, but you weren't good enough before Ruben Amorim came in. The only players I have a little bit of sympathy for are like the Kobbie Mainers, who was unbelievable under Ten Hag, and Ruben Amorim can give him 2 minutes. Other than that, if Ruben Amorim can't get the best out of you, you're probably not good enough anyway. Let's be honest. And then the last story is obviously from Fabrizio Romano, and he said the relationship between Garnacho and Amorim is just not the same. It's not been the same. So Garnacho and Man United is not the same, and it's not been the same since January, because he obviously almost left in January. The feeling is if Man United receive a good offer, Garnacho is gone. There's a strong feeling, again, inside the club that Garnacho is probably most likely gone. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching today's video. I'm still not over it. But yeah, bye.